Hello, Rec187, and welcome to Let's Play some Strategic Command World War One, which is one of the many games in the Strategic Command series, and obviously it focuses on World War One. However, this game originally dropped in 2019, I want to say, but just earlier this month, so it's till in November when I'm recording this, so about 9 days ago, a new DLC was launched. So 4 years after the game first came out, and the first DLC it's received, and it's the so-called Empires in Turmoil, and it adds a few additional scenarios to the game that was kind of conflicts around in and about World War One. So the ones it added were the First Balkan War, so that was kind of the Balkan powers fighting Ottomans, with the Second Balkan War, where Bulgaria then fought everybody. There's the German East Africa campaign, so that's kind of a subset of World War One, which obviously wasn't in the first titles, but it focuses on the war in kind of Europe and North Africa. And then also we had the Russian Civil War. So I was keen to dive into it and give it a go. I'm a big fan of the Strategic Command series in general. I think they make fun games. And so I thought I'd put it out onto my YouTube community asking which scenario we would cut our teeth with. And overwhelmingly, which is always good to see, the result is the Russian Civil War here. So you can take 41% of the vote. And hey Zai, nice to see you too. It has indeed been a while. Yeah, so coming in top here is the Russian Civil War. And interestingly, because there was a couple of comments there, the only support shown was for the White Russians. So I don't know why I expected YouTube chat to be have more communist leanings, but apparently that's not the case in the slightest. They're all on the capitalist side. So we're going to be playing through the Russian Civil War as the White Russians, seeking to avenge the death of the Tsar and crush the Bolshevik dream. Awesome. So let's jump in. Let's get that set up. So we're going to be somewhere down here. Which one is it? Shadow of the Tsars. So this is a 60-turn scenario. So I think, is it the biggest one? Let's look. 50 for the East Africa campaign. You've got 30 for that one. Oh no, so Balkan League 23. Okay, 16 turns. That's very short. Okay, fine. So there's a few added. I think this is indeed the longest one. So that's fine. Right, and who gets to go first? Bolsheviks get to go first. No problem. What are our victory conditions here? So, the White Russian decisive victory, we need to break their fighting spirit, which we'll talk about when we get to the game for anyone unfamiliar, or we need to capture a whole bunch of places. Moscow, Petrograd, Taritsin, Minsk, Kiev, Archangelsk, Ekaterinburg, Rostov, Warsaw, and Tallinn. Okay. Otherwise, we can get a major victory if we capture the bunch of places, these bunch of places, or a minor victory if we just hold on to those. Presumably there must be, yeah, okay. So this Tsaritsyn, it's probably going to be a key city to fight over. Cool. Well, let's jump in. We're going to play. We're going to go as the Whites. So I will wholeheartedly admit, this is not a conflict I know vast information about. So I'm well aware of the general broad brushstrokes about the Bolshevik uprising, and the kind of intervention of the rest of the great powers, kind of, well, very light intervention on support of the Whites, and obviously the death of Tsar and their whole family, and ultimately the Bolshevik victory. But in terms of actually how that played out over the period of those 5 years, I don't really know. So this is going to be a bit of a learning experience. I'm tempted to kick up to veteran, but you know what, we'll keep on intermediate. It is the first Strategic Command game I've played in a while, so let's give us too tough a time, and maybe if we play another scenario we'll bump it up to veteran, because it usually gives a bit of a challenge. All these I think we'll keep the same. Let's just go. Oh, I need to check where my camera is. I forgot about that whole thing. Hello. Okay, so it looks like we're fighting the independence movements as well. There's turrets in. Political pressure builds to bring American troops home. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, Latvia tries to secure its government because it's not got a lot of people. And the Russian winter strikes. Awesome. Okay, I can get behind the desertions. Love it. A general strike triggers the Spartacist uprising in Berlin. Oh, more stuff I don't know much about. And the Irish Civil War. I know a little bit more about that. Greater Poland. Yeah. What a time to be alive. Where are we? 2nd of January 1919. And we're looking for a British intervention in Russia. Okay, fun times. Lots of stuff happened. Okay, and the Bolshevik blood fleet sorties ready for battle. Yada yada. Okay. Advice on use of the Polish army. Wow, we have a bazillion different factions to play around with. Okay, our Polish soldiers are willing to fight and die for their country. There's no doubt about that, but they will not tolerate being used in a war of aggression beyond Poland's historic borders. Oh, okay. Neither the Whites nor the Reds favour us having our independence, so trying to take our forces to Smolensk or beyond would only lead to mutinies and disorder within the army and win us no friends in Russia. To avoid any problems, restrain your campaigning within Poland, the Ukraine, Lithuania, and the area to the west of the Berezina River. Okie dokie. The situation facing the White armies. The Great War may have come to an end, but our own struggle to restore law, religion, and order is only just beginning. Our forces are divided through political and personal differences, but we all share a hatred of those who have taken power and murdered the Tsar and the Tsarina. And their kids, I think. To assist us in driving the Bolsheviks from Russia, British and American troops have landed in the north, while French troops will soon arrive in Ukraine. With this foreign support, we should be able to consolidate our positions, seek additional allies in Ukraine, Poland, and Finland, and advance on the enemy in Moscow and Petrograd. We need to act fast, striking hard before the Red Army becomes an unbreakable foe. Advice on use of the British forces. Exhausted by the efforts required to win the Great War, there is little public support for British soldiers to campaign deep into Russia. It is therefore strongly encouraged that you resist the use of British forces in the following regions in order to maintain British fighting spirit. Okay, northern Russia as far south as Lake Onega. Oh no, restrict use of British forces to these regions. Okay. The territory of the Baltic states, fine, Crimean Peninsula. The Brits love Crimea. And the Caucasus as far north as Grozny, right? Understood. Additionally, a British garrison should be maintained in Baku, there, and Batum, I don't know where that is, we'll have to find that, to prevent local ethnic tensions from reducing the spirit of the southern whites. Several white generals have established headquarters in Estonia and recruited thousands of troops. If we supply them with war material, they'll arm a force of 2 corps and march on Petrograd at the cost of monies. If we do not supply the force, we will be able to field a British army in the Baltic instead. This will be distasteful for the British public and result in a loss of fighting spirit. So, anyone unfamiliar with Strategic Command, 2 things. You'll see MPPs referenced a lot. That is just a universal currency. It kind of simplifies the game. So this is obviously a hex-based, fairly grand strategy wargame. But with some elements of simplification, such as all your production, money, material, etc., it just gets simplified into these MPPs. So that's what you spend everything on. So this is what we currently have, and this is what we currently generate. So the UK does generate... Actually, it doesn't tell me what it generates. It's just what I've got. So I don't know. I don't know how big an impact is this into our generation, but certainly more than we currently have. The other thing I really enjoy with Strategic Command is a lot of these decisions have notes and they tell you what happened in history, etc., which is always very interesting. Okay, so we say yes to the decision. We get 2 corps and artillery units for the Northwestern Whites, deploying mid-1919 at half strength. We say no. We get 2 experienced British division units deploying in Estonia in mid-1919, but British fighting spirit will also be reduced. Oh, it doesn't actually tell you what happened in real life. I think I'm going to say yes. Let's take the Russian troops. We can always build them up to full strength. and yeah, let's keep the British a bit better restrained. Okay, we have some troops there. I'm not going to deploy them just yet because I need to find out what on earth is going on with our forces. So, alright, we've got, right, where's Baku? Where is Batum? Here. Okay, so we need to keep British troops in these two places. Fine. We have some divisions there, more divisions. So, and again, you get different strengths. You see a little 3 dudes here, obviously a corps rather than division. So, bigger unit, just fights harder, fights stronger, etc. Oh wow, we're only allowed to go as far as Grozny. That's not very far. Okay, but we have apparently free reign for the Cossacks. Okay, Azerbaijan is my troops as well. Not that there's much in the way of that. Okay, so they can roam, but Britain's really just going to fight for Grozny and then hold it. Presumably I can take the city. So, Petrograd Port, Grozny, maybe Pietrogorsk. Depends how fine a line they're calling here. Okie dokie. Okay, we've got a bit more forces here. We've got... Who are you? The Don Cossacks. Okie dokie. Then we're into Ukraine. We have Ukraine itself fighting some insurgents, and we have the other Ukraine, and then we have Poland's armies. Okay, and a little bit in Latvia, Estonia, funzios, and quite a nice. Are these all Estonian? I thought these were American troops. Oh no, these are Estonian. Estonia has an armored train. Cool. So the Americans just up here. Well, there's not many of them. And some American ships, and some British ships. Okay. What's this? Okay, yeah, don't move British forces out. So, I mean, I think the general strategy is going to be have to a little bit of, well, let's use the troops where they've got. Okay, and this is our Ural Whites, and our Orenburg Cossacks, and oh, why do we have so many different people fighting for us? Fine. The snow is not going to help our initial movements. Also, having a bazillion different people is not going to be that useful for all our research. So if we come have a look at research, so we've got a lot of stuff unlocked already. You guys also don't really have much in the way of money, and I don't know how much money we're really going to generate to spend on research. But there are things like infantry weapons would be super useful. Okay, some of you guys have it, some of you don't. Okay. And I'm going to say, for some of the European troops, I'm not sure research can be super useful, as you might end up leaving. Right, we can't afford to buy any more people. We could buy a plane, but let's not buy that. Okay, but you are also spending your points on other divisions. Okay. Not be having me. Okay, we've got Rifle Corps, and we've got division. Fine and dandy. Well, let's perhaps start making a move. Oh, it's oil fields. Couldn't recognize the system. Well, let's go up and take the port. Thank you very much. And we'll move along the railway line as well. Obviously, these guys not super powerful. I probably want to spend a little bit of points reinforcing people if I can. Using my automatic reinforce tool, which is always nice. You can only get up to 18. I mean, let's be honest, that's not great. That's also your capital, so you probably don't want to lose that. I'm tempted to reinforce your HQ because it confers bonuses onto the rest of your troops. Although if I'm doing anyone, perhaps I should reinforce the British HQ just for now. Although, let's be honest, you're only going to really be able to push forward with one unit because someone else has to sit on Batum. What are you doing down here? Very little. Okay, I'm assuming that the Bolsheviks aren't going to launch any kind of naval invasions in the Caspian. So let's maybe start to put a little bit of pressure on Astrakhan and this general area. One of the big mechanics in this game will be supply. So if I press S, all the supply numbers come up. Broadly speaking, it goes from 1 to 10. 10 is good, 1 is bad. Generally below, I think it's below 5 is pretty much untenable for any long period of time. So it's something you have to definitely watch at. And you can show one is this turn, and the second press is next turn. Right, so we do have a little bit of concern here. So we will want to push probably our HQ forward, because one of the great things HQs do is boost supplies. Let's shuffle you forward. And, well, he's not had enough effect, so these horses might be a little bit out of supply next turn, but that's not the end of the world. We can fix that. Right, let's move you, just move you generally up. Would like an HQ in support, so I'm probably going to have to leave you there. I'd love another unit. These are just destroyers, and dreadnought. Okie dokie. I don't think you're doing very much down here. I'll start walking you up the road. Just on the off chance you get up to Baku, and then we could drop you in there, and at least it frees up an actual fighting force. This is quite a fortified position, so I don't really want to take it head on, but we could certainly try and do a little bit of flanking. Again, with the conscious that what's our supply like? Actually not too bad. The other thing is you don't want to run into people you haven't seen. So I do want to probably plop someone on the road to stop them advancing. Yeah, you guys can sit there. Oh, and actually you're going to get 0 to... Oh, these only have strength. Okay. Yeah, we'll start inflicting some damage. I'm sorry, did I just read that wrong? No, that was definitely, it was a 0 to 1. I just clearly did not go the way we wanted to. That's, actually, I can't do that. That's probably a better place to put the HQ. But we'll shuffle them forward, that's fine. We have 2 HQs down here, which is probably more than we need for right now. Also gonna, let's bring you forward to front. I'm gonna advance this troop. In fact, let's get you in a forced march. And you can sit in this capital. I know technically that's your capital, but really, who cares? In fact, you do have a unit over here, so let's bring you over this way as well. We use you guys to kind of boost supply. I may end up abandoning some of these because we could probably make do without it. It's just trying to straighten and sort on our front lines at the minute, I think, is going to be the objective. You guys absolutely want your HQ out towards you, and to start to try and... again, put pressure on this place. We'll just move some people in. You can see the squiggly lines there, they're trenches. We want to generally avoid smashing our faces off those. It's going to end badly. Like down here, do I really need to keep this defended? I suspect not. Okay, yeah, Brits and stuff. So anyone who's Russian needs to get out and get moving. We'll use some of the Europeans to do our garrison duties. Now, you guys are in a bit of an awkward place, and I probably need some other forces trying to squeeze in here. So I'm going to push out in this direction. Just a bit of a blocker. We should see them coming if we need to start to divert. Such as we have here. Yeah, that's not great. Let's pull back to town. Okay. Good for there. I think Poland's first job is probably going to be trying to just crush these Ukrainians. Come out and help squeeze these guys out. And then we'll go forward from there. Oh, and we have some artillery to do just that. Beautiful. Artillery in this game is very powerful. It's also very needed to dig anyone out of entrenched positions. And you need to start showing yourself forward. We can pay some money to move them by train, but I don't think we need to do that. This, you can fast movement there with the orange. It's obviously a lot quicker, but it does somewhat impact their ability to fight and their morale and stuff. Essentially, tell them to force march. Okay, you are super weak. I don't particularly like it, but you're also not in a particularly useful place. So come forward and see what you can see. Presumably there is some defenders in Riga, but perhaps not. Okay, that's Poland's dealt with. That's Let's be dealt with Estonia. Estonia seems to be in a reasonable position. Oh, we'll start with taking Tartu. And then if we can push up, maybe hold Narva seems like a reasonable place to kind of take the line. Got to watch in case we kind of push north, actually. Don't want to leave Parno completely undefended. You can blast them away. Not that that did very much. And that's not going to be helpful. Okay, that's fine. Let's pull back a little bit. So this is a lot of just kind of maneuvering for this first turn. And then we'll go from there. Oh, take your town. Towns are generally offer a little bit of supply, which can be helpful in pushing forward. Although we'll see how far we can really get down that road. You probably need to pull back and do a little bit of R&R, but at the same time... Can we swap out here, actually? Yeah, okay, that's better. Can I even heal you up? Yeah, okay. Let's move down. You can't move very far. Okay. Try and squeeze whatever supply forward we can. Yeah, it's not terrible. He should be in a pretty bad place from supply, which will degrade him over time, and hopefully means we can then cut him off and start pushing down this road. I don't really feel like I've got much to do with my navy, to be honest. It said they're ready to... Ah, okay, well, clearly I want to get some British warships into the Baltic, then. Do I have any options to transfer to the Baltic? Nope, that's the Med. That's the Med. Okie dokie. I may have to wait for ones to get deployed there automatically, then. But realistically, I don't really need any ships floating around here at all, to be honest. Alright, I'll just leave them where they are. Okay, let's go ahead and do the Far East. We'll meet the Reds upon the road. Yeah, I'll have you march forward. Why not? Yeah, well, let's stick with our Earl Whites for just now. You're just going to march up the road. Oh, this is generally pretty terrible movement, but okay, we'll just try and advance. And now over here, this could be troublesome. Yeah. I don't really know the best places to advance with these guys, because going across here is just supply death zone. It's probably going to be actually come down and just try and push across here, maybe. Get a little bit of a boost, and then it's going to be until we take this area. Not that you can move particularly far. Okay, let's try and start moving. Anyway, you're 3. I'm just going to leave you there. Oh, you're also 3. Russian, bad for supply. Who would have known? Right, okay, I think we are done there for the first turn. One attack and it went poorly, but you know, it's always a great way to start things. But it's not too bad. In fact, can you get to Poltava? You can. Although, I'm not sure it's a good place for you to be. Actually, pull down to here. Okay, that was nice and cheap. Ah, you're only division. Okay. That's Southern White MPP we're spending. That's fine and dandy. I think everyone around here moved. Yeah, okay. Okie dokie. Yeah, not much to do with our points, so we'll hit enter and see what happens. Oh, no, I don't. Hang on. Got some boys to deploy. Okay. Recon bombers. Really? That's a bit frustrating. Also really. Alright, so I can go across here, and then you guys, it's a bit more, a little bit more like it. Okay, done. Just out of interest, I mean, this is information you shouldn't really have. How do we look in terms of land units? They've got 70, we've got, unknown maths here, 16, 18, 28, something. That's German, doesn't really count. 36, 51, 70. So pretty much bang on. They do have 6 units, which hopefully we can find and sink, and all's well and good. Done. Yeah. I know they're not going to be around for anyone. The Ural Whites capture military supplies in Perm. Excellent. So they are not going to get very far. They're essentially going to defend the place for us. Hello, gents. Barcelona's kicking off. And Seattle has general strike. Interesting. Okay, so how much are we getting? So the UK was getting about 80 turns, 87. Also, there's the 50 we're spending on a decision. You guys get total amounts. How are we getting here? 60 for you. You get 76. Okay, Southern Whites get 144. So they are a kind of bigger powerhouse in terms of spend. Good to know. People do not like the death penalty. Who would have thought it? Yeah, this is a bit problematic, this little like incursion. Trains coming in. Well, that was good result for us. Some defensive artillery there. Oh. Okay, all the Europeans that I want to pull out. Oh, revolt in our favour. Love it. Don Cossacks who are ours? I think so. The Bolsheviks launched the Third Internationale, calling for worldwide revolution. Trotsky instills discipline and builds a 1 million man Red Army. Alexander Kolchak is named Supreme Ruler of Russia. And the winter's over. Okie. Given the political sentiment of the French and the French army, it'd be wise to limit our operations in southern Russia. By keeping the French infantry close to Odessa, we'll be able to maintain domestic political support. Were we to move the French infantry further than 5 hexes away, people get upset. Okie dokie. Okay, some volunteers, I'll get you later. And that's it. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You really can't go very far, can you? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can't even capture this blooming thing, but sure, we'll fan out. Now, I probably can't get you beyond an 8 because of supply. That's something I hadn't truly considered. I wonder if this counts as north of the location. I'm not sure. We're going to threaten their rear anyway. So what I would like to do is essentially that. Cut them off. Now, our supply is also going to be terrible for 1 turn, but we should be able to get in, get the cities. There's a good chance they're going to rail someone there, unfortunately. But that's okay. That's not a bad attack, and this is a very good one. Okay, this is good. See if we can start causing a little bit of damage to these boys. That's beautiful. Do I want to push you forward? Yes, I do. you can come along. Now, you get a much better a bonus for having started the turn in a hex next to them, because you get a prepared attack rather than a moving attack. But these guys are in such a bad state, it should not matter. Alright. Fighting Spirit bonus. Stavropol is ours. And these guys are going to be up against it in terms of supply, which is good. So you belong to these fine gentlemen. What's your supply in your current situation? 3. You're not going to enjoy that. I'm not sure if I can massively open up some supply for you anytime quickly. So we'll see. You may be in a little bit of trouble. But that was a good opening move. Down here, I don't really want to advance, because is that a core? Yeah, that's a core as well. But once we take Georgievsk, we can start trying to cut off the supply down here. We'll put you in here because you've got a river defense. Your attacks also across rivers. Doesn't help. And sure, we'll push up. But one advantage we have here, because you can see the squiggly lines can only go up to 3 sides of a hex, and that's where the trenches are. And if you obviously, you can see it's on this side, and that side, but not this one. So that gives us a bit more of an advantageous attack if we were to ever get some troops who were capable of such things. I will spend the points to get you up to 8. And then maybe we'll throw you into a mix. And yeah, I think I'll do the same for these, because I don't think I need to sit on your capitals. I think what I need you guys to do is to start pushing north. Now, you can control the miners. That's good to know. So these British ones will give benefit to the non-British forces as well. Hang on a moment. Okay. Just dealing with some fun advertisers in Twitch. All the joys of things I'd managed to forget about. Okay, that's a good little push. You're coming forward to support your horsey. Don't call it a horsey, Requin. Fine. And next up will be here. Let's keep you moving forward. I wish HQs could move a little bit more, but you know, HQs doing what they can. So this is quote unquote not ideal. I could get in behind you, but it could also lead to my own cutoff. This is somewhere we really want to put pressure on and hopefully take. I'll have you go across the river and get you to go up there. Oh, you've left your own trenches, but fine. Do I want to take a 1-to-1? I don't think I do. We'll just continue to see each other as we move our HQ forward. You are going to push along this road towards Hulapul. I think you're going to push up the road towards that. Okay, there's people there. This is the info that we need to have. You're going to get yourself healed. And I might pay to operate you. And just leave a defensive front here. Let Poland clean out these guys and have your limited troops focus on the blacks here. Going by their flag. Meanwhile, how many shells have we got? So you get 2 shells, so I can fire twice. That's for a start, but we might be able to improve those odds. And you can get in on this action as well, which I like the idea of. Okay. Let's hit them with 2. Do I want to? Yeah, let's do it. There's 1. There's 2. So what am I doing here? Because I'm obviously not causing any strength damage. I'm reducing their entrenchment, which is now 2 out of 3. Still higher than I'd like. The readiness and the morale, which should hopefully give us better. No, it hasn't. Well. Poop. You need to keep moving south. How's our supply? Supply is okay down here. Tempted to actually step here. Let's take him. Okay, nothing happened. Fine. Again, I want to try and restrict their supply. Now, they will have some from towns and things, but also if we can, yeah, restrict their supply, surround them, cause them more damage, you know, life gets better. You can come out there and start pushing it on Stanislaw. Okay, Poland seems okay. This guy has run away from Minsk, which is good. Let's get you healed up. You're just a kind of a garrison unit, but fine. You're more strong. Let's get you healed up. So there is people in Riga. And there is ones in in this place. That's probably going to be our first objective, to try and clear out in Latvia? No, Lithuania? Lithuania. Even says so on the map. Good. So let's come out here. See, we can push towards Minsk, get some eyes on. Good, good, good. Here we want to... We're still not showing great results. Let's get in behind, cut them off. And then, well, partly want to prepare a strike. Part of me wants to... I think to push south. Oh, let's get you there. And we'll, can you get up to 10? No, you can't. Okay, you guys keep walking. Fine. Shells 1, supply 5. Maybe I'll hold off for a turn. We might be able to start doing some damage next turn if we do a bit of shells. They've only got entrenchment 1, so if we get a couple of shells from you... Actually, no, you don't have shells. You have strikes. Alright, we'll give it a go. Okay, that was effective. These are not. Now, they will get more effective, but you have a supply of 2, really? Okay, oh, okay, that's not going to do anything for us. Fine. Alright, we are not in a good enough place to attack. I need to get an HQ. You guys don't have an HQ, but I need to get an HQ up here to start boosting our supply. There's people there. Okay, fine, go back. Oh, and these guys ran away, like cowards that they are. Okay, let's get the British going down, because presumably they're pretty good fighters. And maybe we just heal up the Russians? You probably need to pull back a little bit so you're all connected up. Actually, maybe we'll try and cut this line. Sweet. Over here, Russians have fallen back, fearing our might. Probably supply. Supply's good. I don't know if that's going to really change the numbers. Yeah, it does. It improves it even better. Excellent. So 1-to-1 right now. It's not really worth it. Probably not aggressive enough in my strategic commanding, but I tend to like to attack when I have a chance of victory. Yeah, supply's pretty garbage. Maybe let him come forward, and then we can always attack him if he is decides to venture out into the mountains. Guys, I'm just gonna like spend an age. Well, I should probably leave you there. Okay, I think that's everyone. I think you need to stay there as well. Okay, do we have any more much points? The US has got a little bit. And then we've got some Murmansk volunteers. Okie dokie. America, who can you buy for? Just yourself and just fighters and stuff. I don't know how useful fighters are going to be. Nor do I know how long you are going to stay in the fight. But I have no other use for your well, that's not true. That's not true. I could start trying to get Finland in this war. Anyone else who's interesting? Romania, Sweden, Norway. Okay, Okay, how much is 50? Let's put 50 diplomatic points to try and convince Finland to come beat up the Bolsheviks. Okay. Now, White Russia has a bit of research, has a bit of points, 161, which is good. I could and maybe should buy more units, but I would also like better gear and guns, so my units I have fight better. What's my options? What would... Okay, can I not? Yeah, okay, that's more than I've really got. Let's go for research. Let's get some infantry weapons. Oh, I also like command and control. Or no, it's logistics, isn't it? Increases logistics levels, improves the HQ supply distribution, which I think is going to be a little bit key here. So let's stick 50 into that. Means we can't get our infantry weapons, which is unfortunate, but fine. We can make. In fact, let's put. I'm going to put 2 into that. I don't care. I don't think armored or aerial warfare is really going to become a thing. But hey, what do I know? But let's get logistics flowing. Good. I do believe I'm ready to end this turn. Hostility to allied troops in Russia increases Bolsheviks' fighting spirit. Poland gains Poznan as a result of a Greater Poland uprising. Huzzah! And the Royal Navy enters the Baltic. Come on in, boys. Okay, some troops. This is good. Stavropolans join the White Movement. Oh, cool. And we get some Brits over here. Oh, French. Mutinying. 10 days that shook the world. And Hungary proclaims a Soviet Republic. With some science progress, but nothing interesting. Okie dokie. And as the Soviet turn just plays out in the background behind us, we're going to bring this first episode to a close. I think the Civil War is very much just warming up. There's some fairly fragmented front lines all over the place, and I think we do have our work cut out to try and make a sensible and stable front line from which we can progress from. I am slightly worried about that bulge into Ukraine, but we shall deal with that next time. As ever, as a first episode of a new series, I appreciate if you could give it an old thumbs up and or comment. Always helps the algorithm, which does help with the exposure, and I never ask again for the rest of the series. Assuming first you enjoyed it, which I hope you did, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Cheerio!